All right, everybody, and welcome back to the No Business Soccer Podcast. I'm your host, Adam Magana, MC Snooze. We have the main man, hype man, Vic over here. Vic, how you doing today?
Doing really well, and I liked it so much last time that the whiskey today is again Jack Daniel's Barrel Strength Single Barrel Rye. One of the best values for the money, and yes, cheaper than the Japanese stuff I had the other day. Adam, very good.
All right. I won't talk shit this time.
Mhm.
Thank you very much for that. And we also have our band in the back on the ones and twos, Daniel, DJ Daniel. How you doing?
Great.
DJ Danny Dan
All
on
right,
the
coming
ones
in
and
with
twos of
the heat
podcasting.
today. And we're just going to jump right into it today. We're going Euro 2024 Group D. We're going to be reviewing each team, talking a little bit about their history in the Euros, how they've been doing lately, some key players, best young player to watch out for, betting odds, of course, got to put some cheddar down, and then why we're watching, why you are watching, and why Victor will be watching each team. And then we'll wrap it all up going into our predictor and seeing who we think is going to be coming out of this group and some key matches to go through and to watch whenever the Euros kick off in just a few days' time. With that said, let's jump right into it with France. Have you heard that France, that motto? Anyway, so looking at France, they qualified for the Euro 2024 by topping their group that included Netherlands with a record of 7 wins, no losses, and 1 draw. The last time they were here, they topped the group of death that included Germany, Portugal, and Hungary with 5 points, but they were upset in the round of 16 by the Swiss in penalties, so anything can happen when you get there. Their best ever finish at the Euros was France has actually won it twice. They won it in 1984 and 2000. So it's been a while. They're looking forward to doing this all over again and getting a trophy in on German soil. And with that, Vic, what's the form look like the past few matches?
Yeah, so the past few matches are in 2023. They actually did really good with just 1 loss and 1 draw. The rest were wins. They rattled off 3 quick wins against Gibraltar, Greece, and the Republic of Ireland. Then again, that one of those losses came to Germany, 2-1, and it was just a friendly. They weren't going full throttle there, but still, 2-1 loss to Germany. Then they rattled off 3 quick wins, being capped off on those wins with a 14-0 thrashing of Gibraltar. That's absolutely insane. Finishing the year against Greece on a 2-2 draw. As for 2024, they started off again with another loss. It was just a friendly again with Germany 2-0, but rattled off 2 wins against Chile and Luxembourg. And then they do play today here in just a couple of hours as of this taping against Canada. So we'll see how they go. They want to keep up these wins and definitely go into these Euros on a positive foot.
I just want to say one thing, that 14-0, that is a American football score.
That's crazy.
That is ridiculous. Yeah, not good there for Gibraltar. Well, let's look at some of the key players for France. France is one of the best teams in the world. They're a factory for producing some top tier world class footballers. So you could pick anybody on that squad. I'm just going to pick a couple here. The main one, Kylian Mbappe. Everybody knows Mbappe. He's the next generation of Messi and Ronaldo, that type of player. He's going to be the biggest star once those guys are gone, and he'll continue to be that big star for years and years to come. He's already must-watch television anytime he's on the pitch, so make sure you're tuning in for that guy. We also have Antoine Griezmann, the Atletico Madrid striker. He's been on this team for a while, and he's one of the key pieces outside of Mbappe for making sure that they're going forward, attacking and scoring. A young talent to watch for, though, we have Warren Zaire-Emery. He turned 18 in March. He's a central midfielder for PSG. Last season, he scored 3 goals and 7 assists across all competitions for that PSG squad. And he's already becoming a regular starter at PSG. And he's been in that club, which is one of the bigger clubs in the world. And so he's got that big team experience. It does remain to be seen how many minutes he'll actually get in this squad because, again, France is so stacked. But if he's planning to have a great tournament here and then kind of continue on being that young, talented player, this might go a long way towards that, because if he can show something here, he might get more minutes in that PSG squad as well. And with that said, we're going to go over to some of the odds for this team. I think they're pretty good. I'm pretty sure they are, but Vic, tell us how good they are.
Yeah, they're definitely pretty good. They're actually comfortably have the best odds to finish on top of their group with a minus 188. Overall, the odds to win the Euros 2024 are really, really good. Second only to England at a plus 400. So a really good bet there. It could go either way. For my money, I have England, but France is really, really close behind England winning this whole thing. So we'll definitely see. But that's what's going on in the sports books. Adam, what are you saying out on the streets there?
Yeah, the streets are loving some France. Just cut to the chase. Everybody thinks they're going to win this tournament. Obviously, the Brits don't. They think they're taking it home, and the Germans don't. A few other countries, but really, most other parties and most people watching and looking at these squads think that France is going to win it pretty handily. So, why I'll be watching this tournament? Well, they've reached 3 of the past 4 finals of big tournaments: the Euro 2016, World Cup 2018, which they won, and World Cup 2022. They have the right mentality for that. If you're winning constantly in these big tournaments, you obviously have to be mentally and physically ready to go outside of the clubs here. So they have incredible talent, squad depth up and down that squad, and of course the best player in the world with Mbappe. So yeah, I think they're going to be going all the way, and I really want to watch them go in and see how they progress through this tournament. It's going to be fun to watch, especially once they get to those knockout rounds. They're playing some of the bigger teams. Seeing the heavyweights go toe to toe is going to be really fun to watch, and some reasons why y'all should be watching them. So, as if you needed me to tell you one more time about Mbappe, but he is that good. He's incredible. You can't miss these matches. So make sure you're tuning in. And if that wasn't enough, if you want more to go over, according to an article on 442, France head coach Didier Deschamps could be the first man to win a European championship and a World Cup as a player and a coach. That's pretty freaking cool. And with that said, Vic, give us a little bit of the reasons why you're watching France and some interesting facts and notes about the country as a whole.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing. All they know is go out in France. And matter of fact, in Paris, there's only one stop sign in all of Paris. They just kind of go. I don't know how they do it, but that's absolutely insane. Not only that, we all know that they are very well fed because French cuisine is some of the best in the world, and you can eat a different cheese every single day of the year. Actually, up to 4 years. There's 1,600 different types of cheese, which is insane as well. So, and also they are a very progressive, and they were actually the first country to launch a cat into space. And for that, I think they have my support going forward as well. So we'll definitely see how they do, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think with that in mind, they're probably going to be one of producer Daniel and the back's favorite teams to win it as well. Probably to win forever and ever now. He's going for them. All right, we're going to keep this moving right along. We have the Netherlands. They qualified for Euro 2024 by placing second behind France with the record of 6 wins, 2 losses, and no draws. The last time they were here, they won their group with Austria, Ukraine, and North Macedonia without dropping a single point, which I think that's pretty good. And they went on to lose, though, to Czech Republic 2-0 in the round of 16. Their best ever finish at the Euros. They've actually won the Euros back in 1988, which, the year that most of us were born here. Well, not most of us. Me. And with that said, let's take a look at some of the form for in the games the past 8 to 10 matches.
Yeah, and their form has looked kind of what you said earlier, no draws. They've either won or lost. They did start off 2023 in the summer with 2 losses against Croatia and Italy, then rattled off 2 wins against Greece and the Republic of Ireland, lost again to France, and then had 3 more wins to finish out the year against Greece, the Republic of Ireland again, and a 6-0 thrashing of Gibraltar. Poor Gibraltar, man. As of 2024, they had 4 friendlies. 3 they've already played before. They beat Scotland 4-0. Then lost to Germany 2-1 and beat Canada 4-0 as well. So some impressive wins there. And they do play Iceland on June 10th in a couple days, or tomorrow from the time of this taping. So we'll see how they do. They're probably going to get a few more just experimental things going on there. So we'll see how they do and hopefully go into these Euros with another win.
Yeah, we thought that about England playing Iceland too, and that didn't turn out so well. So
okay, well,
it's because they're not in the tournament. They're jealous. They're playing their hearts out. So let's move along to some key players here. We have Frankie de Jong. He's the central midfielder for Barcelona. He was injured virtually the entire season last season. He's actually stretchered off in El Clasico most recently, and he hasn't played since. So if he's back healthy, he'll be pulling the strings of that midfield, and he'll be a vital cog in that Netherlands wheel. But we're moving on to probably Victor's favorite player. I don't know, maybe Virgil van Dijk, Liverpool center back, Netherlands leader. He's going to be a crucial part of that team. He always is on any team. He's really, really good, and I hate to admit it. Victor, before I move on, do you want to say anything about this guy?
I'll tell you what, we just had Jurgen Klopp leave Liverpool. There was some talks that Virgil van Dijk would be leaving with him. I was honestly more upset that Virgil van Dijk would be leaving than Klopp. And Klopp has been absolutely amazing. I love defense, and Virgil van Dijk has been like my shining star as soon as he got signed and we started winning all them trophies.
No nonsense.
So.
He loves to put in a tackle hard.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so going on to Memphis Depay. He's the center forward for Atletico Madrid. Don't look at the stats, not too good, but he always shows up for when he's wearing that orange jersey, orange kit, if you will. His club form hasn't been the best. You might know he went to Manchester United, didn't really work out there. But anytime he's playing for Netherlands, he tears it up. So he'll be a big part of that team if they're going to advance. A young talent to watch, Xavi Simons, not sure how to pronounce that part, but he's a 23-year-old, and he's playing left wing or right wing. He played left wing 23 times and right wing 18 times for this PSG side, and he's actually on loan at Leipzig for this past season. But going forward, he's probably going to come back because he scored 10 goals and 15 assists across all competitions for Leipzig last season, and I don't think that PSG is going to have a direct replacement for Mbappe since he is going to Madrid, but maybe this guy will come in and take that role. He is a left winger, right winger, attacking midfield. So if he's playing in this squad, we don't really know where he's going to play throughout the entire tournament, but to have someone that's versatile like that, who's young and can score and assist, that's going to be a very, very dangerous player anywhere he is. And he's just a flat out baller. Fun to watch. Can't wait to watch him in this tournament. And Vic, with all of that said, tell us what the odds are saying about this team.
Well, the Netherlands have France in their group, so they do have the second best odds to win the group at a plus 275. Overall, to win the Euros, they have a seventh best chance with Belgium at a plus 1600. So not bad. This is a strong team. They can definitely go far and take some very crucial points either out of the group or just knock some people out going into the tournament.
Yeah, and that's kind of exactly how the word on the street is too. Looking at the squad, they have the depth and they have a really good team to advance, and that's the expectation that they will be getting out of the group. But how far they go really just depends on the matchup, and I know that's kind of a cop-out answer, but I think most people are expecting them to get to the round of 16 and through it, but then quarterfinals probably being where they lose. So we will have to find out. There is some optimism, but then again, it's very tempered. So while I'll be watching this team, though, they're kind of a medium fish, if you will. Sounds weird, but they beat up on the minnows, but they can't really beat the big fish. So if you look at their form, they're beating up on teams like Greece, Ireland, Gibraltar, but then they're losing to teams like Croatia, Italy, and France. And Germany most recently. So it's really hard to say that if they were to get out of the round of 16 that they'll go too deep because, again, they can't beat the better teams. So that's why I'm going to be watching. If they're going to be a dark horse at this tournament or a team that can go far, then let's see how they play against France in that game because that'll tell a lot about how this team will look going forward. Some reasons why you should be watching them. Again, y'all know me. I'm a kit guy. I love the jerseys. I love to watch it on the pitch and see these colors moving around. Don't know why. It's just a thing I like. And this is another iconic freaking kit. I call them the Dreamsicles, but these orange jerseys that they wear, they're amazing on screen. They have amazing players. And if you look at their away kits, they actually have like a blue and like the sleeves and collar are orange. I love it. I think I might get one. If they go, I'll say this. If they get into the quarterfinals, I might buy a jersey because it looks that cool. And of course, they play fast pace in an offensive style of soccer. So you're going to watch this team. You're going to want to watch this team. And Vic, with that, tell us why you're watching this team.
I'll tell you what, I think a Virgil van Dijk jersey will look great on you. Just letting you know. But the reason I'm going for the Netherlands, the reason I'll be rooting for them, talk about homegrown. About 30% of all the babies there are born at home in the Netherlands. That's crazy. It's because it's covered in under their insurance, but still strong people, and they also know how to work through pain and suffering because they consume the most licorice in the world. That's like 2 kilos a year, or 4.4 pounds for us Americans. And licorice again is not that heavy, so that's a lot. And also, there's no way you're winning headers with this team. The Dutch people are the tallest people on average, being 6 feet in the entire world. So we've all seen it with Virgil van Dijk scoring game winners for Liverpool. Seems like almost every week. So definitely going to look forward to seeing them play and rooting for my boy Virgil.
Okay, yeah, they're tall. I can imagine going to Netherlands and being by far the shortest person to ever walk into that country, probably. So moving on to Austria. Austria, they got into Euro 2024 by finishing second in their group behind Belgium with the record of 6 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw. The last time they were in the tournament, they finished second in their group behind Netherlands with 6 points, and they were beaten by Italy in the round of 16. Their best ever finish at the Euros was actually reaching the round of 16 in 2020. That's the pinnacle that they've been at, and they're hoping to move forward with a better record. But Vic, tell us how they look going into Euro 2024.
Yeah, so in 2023, they started off pretty strong in the summer with a 1-1 draw against Belgium and a 2-0 win against Sweden. They went into the fall with a 1-1 draw against Moldova and then a 3-1 win against Sweden. So that was pretty good. Going into October, they actually lost 3-2 against Belgium, but then rattled off 3 quick wins against Azerbaijan, Estonia, and Germany to finish out the year. So that was pretty good of them. So as for 2024, they're actually undefeated. They have 3 wins and a draw. The 3 wins come in against Slovakia 2-0, a pretty decent win against Turkey 6-1, and a 2-1 win against Serbia. So as of yesterday, they just had a draw with Switzerland 1-1, but doing pretty good as far as 2024, and hopefully going into these Euros on a positive foot as well. So let's see how they do.
Yeah, it's hard to have a form better than that going in. Looks like a lot of green on this end. So with that said, let's go over to some of the key players for this squad. They have Marcel Sabitzer, the central midfielder for Dortmund. He's going to be a vital piece of that midfield this summer for the Austrian team. We also have Christoph Baumgartner. He's the attacking midfield for Leipzig, and he holds the record for the fastest international goal of all time when he scored in 6 seconds against Slovakia. Check it out. I watched the highlights the other day. It's pretty crazy. We also have a youngster in Patrick Wimmer, 23-year-old right wing for Wolfsburg. He scored 2 goals, but he was pretty much injured the entire season, so you can't really judge his stats at the end of the season off of that. What I've heard and what I've seen for this guy, he's a pacey winger who loves getting the ball and running directly at defenders. People call him, and get this, the Austrian Messi. So Wimmer, he might be someone to watch out for. All right. Now, Vic, tell us what those degenerates are putting their money on with this Austrian side.
Yeah, well, they do have France and Netherlands in their group, so they do have the 3rd best odds to finish on top of their group with a plus 800. Overall, to win the Euros, it's right in the middle of the pack with 13 best, tied with Austria and Hungary with a plus 8,000. So not the best odds, not the worst odds. Depends where you want to put your money. We'll see.
All right, and now looking at the word on the street for this team, it's the fact that they got into a tough group. It kind of sucks for them, but the key is really how they play against that Netherlands team, and that Netherlands game will go a long way towards determining how they end up in this tournament. Most people are anticipating that they're going to get that 3rd place finish, but if they can get 3rd place and go into the round of 16, that's kind of what they're aiming for. I think this Austrian team does have the build to get into the round of 16 via that best 3rd place team if they need to. I don't know if they're going to get past that Netherlands team, and most people don't think they will either, but obviously that's what we're here for. We need to find out. And so some reasons why I'll be watching. I'm a big fan of this specific team. Austria seems to be a dark horse at every tournament, and I've drank the Kool-Aid multiple times, thought they were going to get way further than they actually do. But this time, I think there's some expectations that they will overachieve and get out and get through the group as somebody that maybe teams are taking lightly. But arguably their best player in Alaba is going to be out of the Euros with injury. So that's a huge blow to their chances to getting out of that group. But I'm still rooting for them. I'm still drinking the Kool-Aid. I think that they can do good. And here's some reasons why y'all should be watching. Because, like I said earlier, we haven't really been able to see Wimmer virtually all season for Wolfsburg. And so he's healthy now, which is going to be awesome. And if he's back to his top form, then he's going to be electric. And if you want to see a European version of Messi, then this is the guy that we are being told that he's going to be. So I'm excited to see this team play in general. But if he's healthy, I'm really excited to see this team. Vic, tell us why you're excited to see this team.
Well, I'll tell you why I'm excited. One, they're not very big on change. Their flag dates back to 1191, making it 833 years old. One of the oldest flags in the world. Kind of like a A1 steak sauce. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They got it right the first time. You know what I mean? Also, they remind me of America a little bit. They love their food, and about 50% of the men there are overweight. So, you know, might seem like home whenever you're there. And also, their wingers have wings. I know we've all had it. We've all needed that pick me up. Red Bull was actually created in Austria, so I appreciate that. I appreciate that, for one, getting me through those study sessions or in school or through a night out and everything, going to work. So I'll be watching them. They'll have my support for that, and I hope you guys watch them too.
You know, it's funny you say that because now thinking back, I remember a lot of the commercials for the Red Bull commercials. They had like German accents, you know, like
Yeah, a
German
lot of them did.
accents.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
There were
Thanks for
also a
that.
lot of there were also a lot of weightlifting ones too, like Arnold Schwarzenegger and stuff too. They had a bunch of people that were just lifting weights and just like pumped up people. Probably why.
Dude, let's go to Austria. Let's go check it out.
That's good. I'll feel at home. Overweight.
Heck yeah. All right, moving this right along to Poland. Poland got into Euro 2024 by finishing third in their qualifying group behind Albania and the Czech Republic with a record of 3 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws. They advanced to Euro 2024 via the playoffs, beating Wales on penalties. The last time they were here, they finished last in their group with Sweden, Spain, and Slovakia with 1 point. And it was a draw though against Spain. So if there's anything to take, then it's they took a point off of the best team in that group. And their best ever finish at the Euros is getting to the quarterfinals in Euro 2016, which they lost to Portugal on pens. And now let's take a look at their form. Victor, take it away.
Yeah, Poland actually looked very strong, getting a 1-0 win against Germany last summer in June in 2023. Although they did slip with a 3-2 loss against Moldova, but they did get another win against the Faroe Islands. Slipped again against Albania right after that, going into the fall. From that point, they actually were undefeated the rest of the year. They had a 2-0 win against the Faroe Islands, then had 2 draws with Moldova and the Czech Republic, and another 2-0 win against Latvia. As for 2024, undefeated again. They had a 5-1 thrashing against Estonia earlier in March, and then won 5-4 on penalties against Wales to finish out March. For this summer, they have a 3-1 win against Ukraine, and tomorrow we'll play Turkey as of this taping. So hopefully they get another win, or they might not get a win, just kind of fine-tune what they have going on for their roster since this is a friendly. So we'll see how they do and see how they feel going into the Euros.
Yeah, that's a tough friendly to get into. A team that's we'll talk about a little bit later, but that's expected to be pretty dang good. But you know, test yourself before you get into the actual tournament. That's cool. Some key players for this Polish squad. We have the main one, and the one that probably most people know is Robert Lewandowski. He's a striker for Barcelona. He's historically pushed Kane for that top striker in the world honors. So he hasn't hit the form that he hits at club level with Poland yet, but if they're gonna do anything in this tournament, he's gonna be a big part of that reason. There's also the left back for Arsenal, Jakub Kiwi. That's what I'm gonna call him, Jakub Kiwi. I still don't know how to say his last name, but Jakub, he's more of a typical left back than a wing back. He's very strong defensively, accurate passer. Hate to talk good about Arsenal guys, but Jakub, he's doing pretty good over there. And then we also have Wojciech Szczesny. He's the Juventus keeper. Saved the penalty that sent Poland here in the first place against Wales. He's a really, really good keeper. And with him and Lewandowski bookending that squad, they could do something in this tournament. And the best young talent to watch for on their squad is Nikola Zalewski. He's 22 left midfield for Roma. And last season, he had 3 assists across all competitions for them, which doesn't stand out too much, but he seems to be the quality that you look for under a coach like Mourinho, where, it's very defensive style. But he just hasn't gotten the minutes lately with the new coach, Daniele De Rossi. So we'll have to see how he does going forward. But there was a lot of promise last time that he did have head coach Mourinho with him over there in Roma. And we'll see if he does get more minutes for this Poland squad in Euro 2024. And I know that it's probably not it's probably bleak on the odds, but let's go ahead and talk about it anyway, Victor.
Yeah, bleak is putting it lightly. They are suggested to finish bottom of their group at a plus 1,000. And overall for the Euros, 6 worst odds at a plus 15,000. So I don't think it's any secret to say if you're Polish, just keep your money in your pocket. Man, no reason to come out to the sports books. You know what I mean? But that's what's going on the betting line. What's going on in the street there, Adam?
I think if you heard the word on the street, that's this segment, right? The word on the street for this team. The words would be 5 words, and they're very famous words.
I am very happy to be here.
Very happy to be here are those words. Essentially, they're just happy to be here. They're in a tough group. And they have a weakened squad right now with a lot of injuries. There's just not a ton of optimism going into this Euro 2024 for the Poles. And the reasons why I'll be watching them is basically to see how the other teams do against them. Not being rude, but that's really all I can say about this team. There's not a whole lot going on for them. And I'm not even going to tell you why y'all should be watching them, because I don't know. I don't want to tell you to watch some boring team. So yeah, without being a hater too much longer, Vic, you tell me why you're watching this team.
I might follow you on that because it was really hard to get some interesting facts about Poland on this one. But I will say that they were on the right path and that they created the second constitution in the world right after America in 1791. So that was awesome of them, although that only lasted about a year. So great idea, poor execution. We'll see what happens. Also, you might not know this, but Poland has some white sand beaches up north. They actually look like a resort. I just thought that was cool, and it was really hard getting facts for Poland. And this is probably my favorite one, but they don't take risk and they play it safe. And that is because the first latex condom was invented in Poland. So hopefully they'll play it safe during this tournament, and they keep a lot of people from scoring to hopefully keep up with the rest of the teams in this tournament. But we'll see, and that's why I'll be watching them.
Okay. Yep. Personally, not a big fan of condoms, but
it's my boy.
Protection's good. Protection's good. So stay protected out there. Well, I think that this group is pretty interesting because of the top 3 teams in it. And so let's go ahead now and break it down and predict who we think is going to get out of this group. I have the group France getting out in that first spot, then Netherlands, then Austria, then Poland. And I know I really went back and forth with Netherlands and Austria. Just looking at some of the stats that we just talked about, Austria's form is ridiculous. They have a decent side. I just don't know if they're as good and as deep of a squad as Netherlands is. And so when looking at who's going to be getting out of this group in the first 2 spots, I really think it comes down to France and Netherlands winning that. And then Austria, they have a great chance of getting to be one of the 3rd best teams, like we talked about earlier. So it's not a knock on them. I just think it ends up being France, Netherlands, Austria, then Poland. Victor, how do you have it?
Well, I have it the same exact way: France, the Netherlands, Austria, and Poland. But there was no hesitation because of my boy Virgil van Dijk. So I think they will be finishing number 2. Austria could be pushing to steal some points from the Netherlands. We will see, and that'll be some of the match days that we talk about here in a minute. And Poland, hey, thanks for coming, you guys. It's great to have you. I appreciate it.
Very happy to be here.
Yeah,
yeah. I'm sorry that was stupid. I shouldn't even asked if you thought Netherlands was going to beat Austria or not.
Yeah.
That's pretty stupid of me. And so going over some of the matches that we think are best to watch and that are going to decide the fate of this group. The first one is going to be Netherlands versus France, because we are expecting France to get out of this group, obviously pretty easily. But with Netherlands being that team, like we were saying, that's kind of a medium-sized fish, this is a huge game on match day 2, June 21st. If they can get anything from that game, it's going to kind of tell us if they've got the grit to go against some of the big boys in the later knockout rounds. And then the next match is going to be again Netherlands, but this time against Austria. The match that we were just talking about. I think Austria has a good case to have a decent squad in this tournament, but if they're going to do anything, then they need to show they can do it against the Netherlands. That's match day 3 on June 25th. And that's it for this group. I don't think there's much else to say. Vic, anything else you wanted to call out before we wrap this up?
Absolutely. This is probably the worst and most boring set of flags that we have on this league. There's 3 colors between all 4 of these themes. So other than that,
yeah,
not much else to say. But yeah, pretty boring flags. You gotta step it
that's
up.
That's actually pretty hilarious because you look at Poland's flag, it's like red and white. Austria add one more red stripe in it. Netherlands just changed one of those red stripes to blue, and France was like, "I'm going to change the direction." Like,
we'll go up and down.
This is an all-time bad flag group. Okay, well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Vic, take us home.
Yeah, again, want to remind you guys to just like, comment, subscribe. We will have all of our social medias down below. We'd like to know what you guys think. Are we way off? Am I out of line for thinking Virgil van Dijk and Netherlands are going to get second? Let us know. We want to interact with you guys and talk to you. So until next time, we'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good one.
Peace.